call the meeting to order of the Leesburg Planning Commission. It's Thursday, March 19th, 2026, 4:30. Please stand for the invocation and the pledge of flag.
Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we ask that as we undertake the business of the city of Leesburg, we ask that the decisions we make will be pleasing in your sight. We pray this in thy most holy name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Turn this off.
I do this different order every time. Everybody's had the opportunity to look at the minutes. And any additions, corrections, or deletions? If not, I'll accept the motion to approve.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we accept the minutes as submitted.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
I can't vote on that. I wasn't here, correct? Or I
If you've
can-
had a chance to review the
Yes, I
minutes,
did.
you can.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
The only time you cannot vote is if you missed half the, like if you were outside going to the restroom and the case started. I won't let you vote unless you hear the whole case. Or if you have something to do with the,
Okay, thank you.
I watched that seminar. I knew all that anyway,
Been there, done that.
but, Dana.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Welcome, everyone, to the March 19, 2026 Planning Commission meeting of the City of Leesburg. My name is Dan Miller, Planning and Zoning Director for the city. Staff present today includes our Deputy Director, Candy Harper, our Executive Assistant, Ms. Sabrina Mitchell, planners Melissa Metters, De Los Santos, and Mel Ortiz. Also with us today is City Attorney Jennifer Koch. Today's agenda and the speaker's registry is available on the table next to the exit door. For those who are wishing to speak on a case, we ask that you would please sign the speaker's registry, which is on that table, and then if you would please turn that into Ms. Mitchell, who is sitting here to my left. Under the rules of participation, the meeting is conducted under the following process. The chairman will announce each case, and staff will then read a list of exhibits for the record. This will include maps, photos, and text as we will show on the screens. Staff will then provide the case background and some descriptive information, and then read a recommendation into the record. The applicant will be given an opportunity to speak on the case, and members of the public will have time for their comments. The applicant will be given an opportunity to respond to those comments, and then the chairman will close the case to the public. The Planning Commission will then discuss the case and vote on the case, and then call for the next item on the agenda. The Planning Commission consists of Leesburg citizens who are appointed by the City Commission and are charged with two primary functions. One is making final decisions on cases such as variances and conditional uses, and second is making recommendations for issues to be heard by the City Commission. The city staff provides recommendations to the Planning Commission based on the city's comprehensive plan, the city's land development regulations, and the state of Florida statutes. There are two cases on today's agenda. Both cases are conditional use permits, and both cases will receive final decisions because they are conditional use permits. So finally, on behalf of the City of Leesburg planning staff and the City of Leesburg Planning Commission, we thank you for your participation in today's public hearing process. And thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Okay. You want to swear everybody in, please? If you're going to speak today, you need to be sworn in, please. So please stand at this time.
Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Kind of like court.
Good job, Tim.
All right.
Quasi judicial.
That's right. Under new business, public hearing case number CUP 26846, Miss Pa Street, ALF conditional use permit.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This project, by way of background, consists of a request for a conditional use permit in an R2 medium-density residential zoning district at 2210 Mizpah Avenue. The site consists of approximately 0.59 acres, a little over half an acre, generally located on the south side of Mizpah and west of Tuskegee Street. The request is for approval of an assisted living residential use. Staff did meet with the applicant, Mr. Andre Ennis, who is here today. Mr. Ennis described to us the location, intent, and purpose of the assisted living facility. Generally, these uses are for persons who have either age, physical, or psychological challenges and need full-time living assistance. As you'll see in the exhibits, the structure is 2 floors with outdoor yard space on the north side, adequate parking for employees, and a lot area in the lot to provide outdoor access for the residents. Our planner, Mel Ortiz, will present the maps and photo exhibits, including the aerial zoning, future land use, surrounding land use, wetlands, flood zone maps, and CRA maps.
Hello. So we're going to start off with the extended aerial. And this map, it shows the extended aerial of the subject property in relation to the larger area. It is north of Mizpah Avenue, east of Nebraska Street, south of Simmons Avenue, and west of Tuskegee Street. Here we have an aerial. It's a closer aerial that shows the subject property is north of Mizpah Avenue. Here's a future land use. The city's future land use map shows the subject property with low density future land use, which is also to the north, east, and south, and west. It's all surrounded by future land use, or low density future land use. This next map is the zoning map. The city zoning map shows the subject property zoned as R2 medium density residential, which is also to the north, east, south, and west. It is also surrounded by R2 medium density. Here we have the proposed CUP. This map shows the proposed conditional use permit for the subject property. Surrounding land uses. The surrounding land uses are to the north, east, and south. It is residential. And to the west, it is residential and government. Here's the flood hazard zone. There are no flood hazard zones on the subject property. Here are wetlands. There are no wetlands on the subject property. And the commission district is District 1. And it is in the Carver Heights CRA Community Redevelopment Area. Here we have photos. The top one is a close-up on the subject property on Mizpah Street. The bottom photo is looking north from Mizpah from subject property. The top photo in this slide is looking east along Mizpah from subject property. And on the bottom photo is looking south across Mizpah from subject property. This last photo is looking west on subject property on Mizpah. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ortiz.
Thank you, sir.
With that, we move to the departmental review summary. The project was sent out to all city departments plus Lake County government and Lake County School Board for their comment. There were no comments back from the city departments. The school board had no comments, and Lake County Public Works had no comments on this project. Under public responses, per Florida statute and City of Leesburg code requirements, the project was legally advertised and posted, and letters were sent out to the surrounding property owners within 200 feet. We did not receive any written comments. We did receive at least one phone call requesting some information. So I don't know if there's anyone here that would like to speak on this one or not today, Mr. Chairman. Under
2 people.
Under the recommendations for the project 2210 Mizpah Avenue, conditional use permit 26-846, which is a request for a conditional use permit for an assisted living facility. Planning and Zoning Department recommends approval of the request for the following reasons. One, a conditional use permit is required for the proposed use under Chapter 25-284 Use Table. Number two, the request meets the criteria set forth in Section 25-141 Conditional Uses and Section 25-284 District Use Regulations of the City of Leesburg Code of Ordinances for the granting of a conditional use permit to allow for the development of one assisted living facility. Three, it is subject to the conditions listed below. The proposed conditional use does not appear to create a detrimental impact to the surrounding properties. Four, the request does not create a negative impact or an inconsistency with the City of Leesburg comprehensive plan. Under the following conditions, one, the conditional use permit is granted to the permittee to allow for the development of one assisted living facility in the R2 medium-density residential zoning district per Section 25-141 and Section 25-284 of the City of Leesburg Land Development Code. Two, the conditional use permit is subject to all other City of Leesburg code requirements, including zoning and building code regulations as amended. And three, the granting of this conditional use permit does not exempt the applicant from other applicable regulations of the City of Leesburg or other governmental agencies, as well as the assessment of impact fees necessary for the completion of the project. Four, violations of these conditions may result in the permit becoming null and void. And five, the conditional use permit must be properly executed by the applicant and filed with the Planning and Zoning Department within 90 days, or it will become null and void. The action requested is vote to approve the conditional use permit for the subject property to allow for the development of an assisted living facility. Therefore, Mr. Chairman, based on a review of this proposal and the fact that the request is consistent with the city's comprehensive plan and land development regulations, staff is recommending approval for case CUP 25-846. The applicant, Mr. Andre Ennis, is here to represent the case and answer any additional questions that you may have. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. I do have one question of staff.
Yes, sir.
In the conditions, in the first condition, you said the development of one assisted living facility. Are you talking about the whole building?
Yes,
being
sir.
one? Okay. I just want to make sure because there's like 6 units in there or something in there.
Yes, sir.
Now, is there any other questions, staff?
Yeah, I had the same question.
Okay.
I have a question for you, Dan.
Yes, sir.
Is there an
Go
existing
ahead.
building on this site?
Yes, sir. If you look in can you flip over to show there's an existing 2-story apartment building there.
That's what I thought might be there. So they're going to use the same building?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just to change of use?
Yes, sir.
Okay. A new structure's not being built?
That's correct.
Maybe modification of what's there? No. Okay.
Any other questions? Okay.
Board members,
State your name and your address, please.
good morning, or good afternoon, board members. My name is Andre McInnes, and our current address is 4544 Cambium Court in Orlando, Florida. Me and my family have owned this property for over 25 years, and we've had a lot of different, transitions of people and whatnot. I'm a 20-year retired veteran, and after my service, I was looking to get more involved in what my family has done with the property. My mom is a retired nurse, as well as my sister is a occupational therapist, and they've looked for that venture of us, forming this into something that really can help a lot of the senior care. And it's something my mom has done and my sister does on a constant basis. So this is where I'm looking to renovate this area. I've always loved that property. I always loved the area, and I know there's a lot of potential transition coming from the area. So I thought this will be a good potential upgrade and movement. So pending you guys' approvals, this is something I really love to do and like to have for our future growth in an environment.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions of the applicant?
Yeah, I have a question. You're dealing obviously with the elderly, is this correct?
Correct.
And I noticed it's a 2-story building. Will you have an elevator in there?
We are in the plans of having a lift that's going to be in the front of the structure, and the lift will go from the first to the second level.
Okay, all right, that was a concern of mine.
Yeah, we'll definitely have that.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
She's waiting to speak.
Yeah, we have 2 other people before you, then you'll have to sign in and be sworn in as well. Okay. You can be seated.
Thanks, Board.
Okay. Angela Mays? State your name and your address, please.
My name is Angela Mays. My address is 1125 Tuskegee Street. And I have lived on Tuskegee Street almost 74 years. The property was my great-grandmother's property, then down to my grandmother's property, then down to my father, and now it's my property.
Wow.
And most of the neighbors in this area are renters, and they're not interested in what's happening here. We have a noisy, it's noisy. Cars racing past the speed, over the bumps, loud music, drugs, street parties until midnight. So much has changed. When I grew up, you ever heard of it takes a village to raise a child? That's how it was when I was growing up. The neighbors watched out for every child. Every child was nice. You didn't have all this, but now it is horrible. And the renters, they don't know, no concern about coming here today. So that's probably why we don't have, more people. And then we got some probably don't speak English, so it's kind of bad. But Tuskegee Street in Miss Park is nothing like it used to be. It's horrible. And I just can't see a assisted living place in this community. Thank you.
Thank you. And Barbara Singleton?
Yes, good evening. My name is Barbara Singleton, and I am
And your address,
representing,
Your address, please.
yes, the address is 1131 Tuskegee Street.
Thank you.
We're neighbors. She mentioned her family tree. Mine's go back 70 years, a family on this street in that particular house. And so I'm here to represent my sister, which we've gotten this notice, Francina Green, and my mother's Dorothy Wade, who's 97 and could not be here with us this evening. But I'm representing our family because the property has been maintained well, and this property that they're planning to do the assisted living is like 200 feet from our corner of our Tuskegee Street. So it comes to the back of our property. So we feel that assisted living facility would not be conducive to our community. And the reason being is so much, as Ms. Mays has said, has changed, and we don't have the support of those that would come out to make sure. And if you have pulled the records, you will see how many occasions the police department has been in our neighborhood. I mean, sometimes they just stay there, especially where they have the street parties, just until they end. So it's a lot that has gone on, and I just think that right now the families that are there are not of our families because they are not people that's been there for a long time. So they don't really care about the community, but we would like something that would be that would benefit others, but at the same time, that would not cause grief to the rest of what's going on in our neighborhood. And so there's a lot that's happening. And so the last point I want to ask is about the commercial business. How would it affect our property taxes? That's a concern my mother has, and her taxes are very expensive already. So would that affect the commercial part? Because that would be a commercial facility, correct?
Yeah, that's a county question, really, because the tax collector and the tax appraiser, property appraiser does that.
Okay, so that's not a decision made on to how it would affect the community that's residential.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's hard for us to give you an answer on that because we don't know what would happen,
Okay. So basically, I just wanted to express our concern for this facility coming into the community. It's an excellent idea. I just don't think it's an excellent idea for the community that we live in. But that's my opinion, and I'm certain you all will make a decision, right?
Okay, thank you. You only get one shot. Sorry.
I didn't sign in, so.
That's okay. We'll swear you in real quick. I know you know the neighborhood.
Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
State your name and address, please.
Good evening. Allison Berry, 900 McCormick Street. I actually was just sitting in to listen, and then I'm hearing things, so I felt compelled to speak. I am definitely concerned about the area. The neighborhood is definitely challenged with noise. It's just a busy area, Tuskegee Street as well as Miss Paw. I think it's a wonderful idea to provide assisted living for the elderly, definitely needed. I just don't think that this area is the perfect spot for a quiet, nurturing area where actual people could sit down outside and enjoy and listen. It's just not there. However, we are working on it. We are working on it. The city officials, the police are well aware. We have constant ride-throughs, and they check on the area, and especially when there have been block parties, street racing. It's been several things that have happened in the past, and I can say in the past because we haven't had it done recently. I'm just concerned that a decision like this now would be possibly, maybe, I mean, who can speak for future? But right now, I don't see it happening. However, I do think it's a wonderful idea, but it's just not the right place and the right time, if I could say that. Thank you.
Thank you.
What do you think about people who may be in the area who need assisted living, who already live right there in that community?
Well, assisted living, when you mean the people who live in the area that needs
Right,
assistance?
That may need assisted living, maybe somebody that's already in
Assistance
the
at
area.
their homes now or in an actual assisted living facility?
That's in their homes right now, and they might want to come over to the assisted living that lives in the Miss Paul area in that neighborhood.
I'm sorry, I may be misspeaking, but is this assisted living that will have residents in the assisted living? So you're thinking that someone in the area will move into the apartments who already live in the area now?
Right, who may need some assistance,
Wanting to get out of their home.
wanting to get out of their home and move into the assisted living.
Well, if you're
already
pulling,
kind of familiar with what's going on in the Miss Paul
Well-
area already.
well, Mr. Sanders, Commissioner Sanders, I can say this, that if that is the case, they are well aware of what's going on in the area. They would not be surprised on whatever if they're already in the area. But for the activity that is there, the noise that's going on, it's just a truly concern for assisted living for the elderly.
Okay, it's time.
Is it okay for me to question the mayor? No?
Well, I'd rather not get into examining the audience. I mean, that's
I
for the,
understand. Yes.
that's for them to do to the applicant and vice versa. Because I started to cut you off, but you know, you're halfway through, and
Yeah,
but I just don't think that's
Thank you.
proper.
could he come back? We're gonna call him back, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Do you want to come back up and answer any questions or you want to, any retort? You get the final say, in other words.
Okay, yes, I do understand the concerns. I have noticed a lot of the different things over the years where there's a lot of noise, a lot of potential illicit activities. And my idea of that, and you're just kind of speaking towards the concerns, is to help rejuvenate the area to get away from that kind of environment. That's why I want to help clean up that building, clean up the area to where hopefully some of the other neighbors or kind of doing the same, to where we can kind of change that environment to get away from that potential problem and a future problem. So that was the intent. There's not going to be any new structure. There will not be any significant changes other than providing more care for the elderly in the area, and really just putting a lot more effort, a lot more profit and into that area and that culture between the Tuskegee and the Mispa area. But I do understand the concerns, and that was really the motivation to help that change. And this is one of the first steps I was looking for with that. Pending anybody else's questions.
Thanks. Anybody got questions?
I have a question statement. So, as you know, that when you, oh, it's on? Oh, okay, this thing on? So when we move into heritage communities, more often than not, our communities are plagued with regentrification efforts and stuff. And so sometimes it's hard fought because the intent, although it be good, no good deed goes unpunished. And I notice in the past, a lot of developers and stuff will come in and do a community workshop to really let them know what's really happening. I understand your intent behind the building and wanting to improve the property, because that is how you change the neighborhood. It takes one neighbor who cares, and as as she stated, I can't remember this word. No, the lady right before her stated that there's a lot, Miss Singleton, I'm sorry. A lot of the area, it has a lot of things going on, and then the other woman stated that there's a lot of renters. So when you have someone that takes ownership in the property, that's how you start to change a neighborhood, when you have more people who take ownership of the property. I think the thing with the residents there is that they don't fully understand what encompasses your facility. And so that's where I think there's a bit of tug of war. And so I know you've kind of explained that to us, but I want to, in my form of a question, give you another opportunity to satisfy our elders as far as in your true intent for this building. And I also want to make mention, being in the housing sector, is that there are a lot of seniors who want to age in place, which means not at a nursing home, but somewhere close to home, and they really do want to get out of their homes. I see it every day where they want to leave their homes, but they can't afford a nursing facility or something like that. And assisted living facilities have went up significantly. They're priced out of the average retiree's budget. And so my question, I'm getting there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. So I'm gonna take this opportunity to do what I need to do for the people of that community. Thank you. And so I want to give you another opportunity to, like I said, satisfy our elders and the residents of that community, so they can feel at ease or begin to feel that way about what you're trying to do in that particular building, and how they can, just feel better about it. So that's my question to you.
Okay, Ms. Carter, thank you for that statement as well as the question. As I've gotten to this point of understanding where I want to kind of move myself in life, and I'm just kind of giving you a little bit of background. I really have always been about helping people, and that's where I've done within the military. I've done my time with that, and coming back into wanting to provide that into the more the environment I can be more involved in. That's where I've started a lot of opportunity on helping the elderly and helping growth of different environments. So within this assisted living facility, again, we're not looking to change the building or anything. We really want to rejuvenate the property. We're looking at having where it's going to have 16 different bed opportunities for the elderly, and whereas we're going to also have a staff, and this is for individuals, again, like you also mentioned, this will be for individuals that want to stay in a smaller community versus the bigger community. I have done some research on the different other, nursing homes, assisted living, and other different types of care that are in the area, and it's a little bit more pricier, and it's also a little bit bigger than most people like. They like the smaller community from a lot of the research I've seen, and this is what I'm looking for in this plan I have, which is to rejuvenate this property, hopefully rejuvenate the community, and have this capability for individuals that want to stay in their environment, as well as having the opportunity to have that independent care or support from a staff that's going to be staffed 24 hours, as well as being in a small niche environment that hopefully individuals within their own community want to reside here. It's not going to be any significant big changes to the big community. I'm not looking to help advertise to the mass environments around the area. I'm really looking to help support individuals that are in this position where they're looking for that different care. This care is going to be anything from the memory care up until that 3 different categories of level of any kind of assistance with medication and even food services. So it will provide that full holistic point of someone who needs that care, that wants to stay in the area, as well as they're really one to kind of downsize into that environment to where this is going to be very supportive of them and their future life. And it will also have the opportunity where they have family members that want to come. We're going to really rejuvenate the backyard towards a nice kind of sitting environment that's going to be still kind of within the compounds of the area, but not really allowing others to come in to invite their space and giving them opportunity to do different things like planting, gardens in the area, or having the opportunity to have transportation that can help assist to go to do things like get groceries or go to other different types of events in the environment and city. So this whole holistic plan is to support that community as well as keep it within the neighborhoods, to also provide that little bit smaller of a financial burden that some of these other bigger places that are known growing in the area that's going to be very harmful for their financial obligations in the future. So it's really a bigger plan and a smaller confined environment for that community.
Thank you.
What's the square footage of the building?
The square footage is 5,600 square feet.
And you want to have how many clients?
Per the
16?
regulations, it's up to 16 based off the size of the property.
16 units in that, or patients?
16 patients.
beds.
Yeah, 16 beds.
A bed for each person. And now you mentioned they can go buy their groceries, so this doesn't include meals for these?
It does include meals, but sometimes there's 5 different units will have the capability of having, if you want to get some other individual things on your own, but it will have 3 meals a day.
Okay, and you're going to have a fire-safe kitchen put in and be approved by the city and
Correct.
meet
Correct.
all regulations?
Correct.
And a hood, and a vent system?
Yes, that's all set up, and the meals will be prepped on site there from the staff and delivered out to the patients, or not to the patients, the clients.
Thanks. Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll close to the public and for discussion and render a decision. I don't live in the neighborhood, but I think it would be something better for the neighborhood rather than having renters in there making a lot of noise. You got elderly people that don't make noise. So I don't know, Plus they've owned it, we're closed to public, sorry. Plus they've owned it 25 years, so they got a little bit of, history there. That's just my opinion.
My concern is the amount of people in that facility. I agree.
Well, that's all a code thing.
Yeah, they're never regulated.
That's regulated by state.
And that the state will have to come in and regulate it, and we have to be trusting of them to be able to take care of it and require what has to be done to make these people safe. That's,
And we do that on everything.
Yeah, those facilities have to be, I think it's ALF, there's a lot of regulations, so
Right.
he has to even go, he got another whole road to hoe with just even getting licensed.
you've
as a
explained that better than
facility.
me, and I thank you for that.
Oh, well, I don't know why y'all don't want to hear from me, I don't understand.
No, you good.
We did.
No,
I
I just
don't-
complimented you.
Oh, okay, I'm just
Put
used
me
to
in
it.
defensive.
I've been made to feel that way, so that's how I'm going to react at this time, but I accept your apology.
Accepted.
Carry on. Any other questions or discussion, Okay, we'll close to the public and render a decision. Is there a motion?
Yes, sir. I'd like to make a motion to approve case number CUP 26-846.
Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Commissioner Barsov,
Yes.
Commissioner Robertson,
Yes.
Commissioner Sennett,
Yes.
Commissioner Carter,
Yes.
Commissioner Sanders,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Kelly.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
We got together, we have two parts of this, just one.
No, just one.
Okay, I thought there
It's
was,
a conditional use permit.
okay.
Public hearing case number CUP 26871, 2007 Butler Street, certified recovery residence, conditional use permit.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Under this project background, this project consists of a request for a conditional use permit in an R2 medium-density residential zoning district at 2007 Butler Street. The site consists of .21 plus or minus acres. There's also a .26 acre tract to the immediate east that's owned by the petitioners. So you get a total of about just under .5 acres, half an acre here. Generally located on the south side of Butler Street and west of Truett. The request is for approval for a certified recovery residence. Staff did meet with the applicant, Ms. Keisha Geist, who is here today. And Ms. Geist described us the location, intent, and purpose of the certified recovery residence. This facility is for memory care. So it's similar to an ALF in that. As you'll see in the exhibits, the structure is one floor, appears to be originally constructed as a single-family residence, was later converted into an office, and is being repurposed under this application to an appropriate use. There's outdoor yard space in the back and side yards, adequate parking for employees, plenty of area to provide for outdoor access for residents. And again, planner Mel Ortiz will present the maps and photo exhibits, which will include the aerial zoning, future land use, surrounding land use, wetlands, flood zone, commission, and CRA maps.
Perfect. This map right here, it shows the extended area of the subject property in relation to the larger area. It is south of West Main Street and west of South Truett Street. Here we have an aerial, a closer aerial, shows the subject property is south of Butler Street and west of South Truett Street. For future land use, for the city's future land use, the subject property is transitional future land use. There is general commercial, low density residential, transitional to the east and west, and low density residential to the south. Here we have the city zoning map, shows the subject property zoned as R2 medium density residential with R1 low density residential and C1 neighborhood commercial to the north, R1 to the east and south and west, and R2 medium density residential also to the west. Here's a map of the proposed conditional use permit of the subject property and the surrounding land use. To the north, we have vacant residential and commercial. To the east, we have vacant residential and a place of worship. To the south, residential, and to the west, residential. For flood zone and wetlands, the map shows there are no flood zone and no wetlands on the subject property. And commission district is district number 2. Here are our signs that we posted. The top one is a close-up of the sign on the subject property on Butler Street. On the bottom is north across Butler Street from subject property. The top photo is looking east across Butler Street, subject property from subject property, sorry. And the bottom photo is looking south along Butler Street from subject property. And this last photo is the looking west on subject property from Butler Street. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ortiz. Moving to the departmental review summary, the project was sent out to all the city departments plus Lake County government and Lake County School Board for comment. We received no substantive comments from the city departments and no comments from the school board or Lake County Public Works. Under public responses, the project was sent out per Florida statute and City of Leesburg code requirements. Project was legally advertised, posted, and letters were sent out to the surrounding property owners. The city did not receive any written comments, and I'm not aware of any phone calls on this one. Under the recommendations for project 2007 Butler Street conditional use permit, Request for certified recovery residence under case number CUP 26-871. The Planning and Zoning Department recommends approval of the request for the following reasons. One, a conditional use permit is required for the proposed use under Chapter 25-284 use table. Two, the request meets the criteria set forth in Section 25-141 conditional uses and Section 25-284 district use regulations of the City of Leesburg Code of Ordinances for the granting of a conditional use permit to allow for the development of a recovery residence. Three, the subject to the conditions listed below, the proposed conditional use does not appear to create a detrimental impact on the surrounding properties. And four, the request does not create a negative impact or an inconsistency with the City of Leesburg comprehensive plan. Using the following conditions, one, this conditional use permit is granted to the permittee to allow for the development of operation of a certified recovery residence in an R2 medium-density residential zoning districts per City of Leesburg Land Use Regulations, Land Development Code. Two, the conditional use permit is subject to all other City of Leesburg Code requirements, including zoning and building code regulations as amended. Three, the granting of this conditional use permit does not exempt the applicant from other applicable regulations of the City of Leesburg and other governmental agencies, including an assessment of any impact fees necessary for completion of the project. And four, violation of these conditions herein may result in this permit becoming null and void. Five, the conditional use permit must be properly executed by the applicant and filed with the City of Leesburg Planning and Zoning staff within 90 days, or the permit shall become null and void. The action requested is vote to approve the conditional use permit for the subject property to allow for the operation of a certified recovery residence. Therefore, Mr. Chairman, based on a review of this proposal and the fact that it is consistent with the city's comprehensive plan and land development regulations, staff is recommending approval for case number CUP 26-871, 2007 Butler Street. The applicant, Ms. Keisha Geist, is here to answer any additional questions you may have. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Any questions for staff?
No, sir.
Okay. Please state your name and your address, please.
Gonna have to lower it. Keisha Guest, 42042 Chinaberry Street, Eustis, 32736, if we needed that.
Okay.
So, do I go now?
Yeah.
Okay. So this particular property is
You'll have to time her.
a different property. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, this particular property is a different property as far as the type and what's around. So previous to, we purchased the property around, 2021. The property previously was owned by Hallfarner as a survey company. So it already had, a commercial aspect. The R2 zoning that it has, we also own the property right next door to it, which happens to be R1. It's a vacant property that we keep all contained in one big fencing area. Right next door to our property is the church, Faith Chapel. Across the street, we have a convenience store, a laundromat. So there are some commercial uses and stuff around there. Being able to use it as an assisted living facility is actually bringing it more into use for the surrounding areas, for the rest of the homes in the area. So I've been an assisted living administrator going on 15 years now. We do specialize in memory care. And, I know, and so I was surprised that there was another assisted living same time, but, some of the misconceptions that people have are increased traffic. Definitely here to tell you, you'd be very, very surprised by, especially memory care. Oftentimes when individuals come to us, it's not because they are living at home and saying, oh my gosh, I want to move out of my home that I've been in my whole life and move into somewhere else. They come to us when the families, their spouse, their, sons, daughters, they can no longer care for them. And what would make someone no longer be able to care? Person that has a memory care, cognition level, let's say, they might be awake 24 hours a day. So you're 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, up. Okay, the person that's caring for them and trying to provide that 24-hour care, you would run yourself down. So those are, when we get those calls, it is because they want them cared for. They want them in a small environment. There is a tremendous difference between a small environment and a larger. And I say small, so the existing ones that I have right now, I own one in Eustis, I own one in Mount Dora. We've been around since 2011. Our clientele base, we've taken care of the former mayor of Eustis. We have a broad range. We are known for good care. Our ACA standards, 0 deficiencies, and that's going back to 2011. We provide good care. It's one of the things where our first property in Eustis, we advertised because we thought that's what you needed to do, put up the website, we haven't had to do that. We don't, because families refer. We have been loved and embraced since we came into Lake County. And so we're very fortunate, for that. I attribute it to your reputation. We have an awesome, impeccable reputation. The property prior to us, if it's not gonna be an assisted living, honestly, the property's 3,200 square feet. It's 80% larger probably, it's way larger than the other homes that are in the area. So someone that's going to be buying a 3,200 square foot home is probably not going to buy. There's probably not another one, but you're probably not gonna buy it on Butler Street. Is it the most ritzy area? No. But is it family-centered, oriented? Yes. I kind of wish that I did have some of the neighbors. They have been so overwhelmingly supportive from when construction was going on. And so construction was just interior because it was an office and had cubicles. They've been so supportive to where when construction was going on, the convenience store owner came over and brought the construction guys, sodas and ice. Mr. Bell that lives down the street, we put up cameras, right? For the exterior. He comes and walks his dog literally probably 4 times a day. He comes all the way to the door. Sometimes you'll see him even try the door, but in a looking out for way. Prior to, when it was a commercial property or just a survey, understand that means that no one's there at night. That means that, okay, it would return back to what we found when we were there, which we were the only building in the area where all of a sudden homeless wanted to hang out there because the building's vacant and nothing's happening. And even if the building was used as an office, it's still, no one's watching it at night. So the church, he's already had families call us, and I'm like, I'm not open yet, not there. So, assisted living in the right area can be a great thing. And I don't know if we didn't have it on there. Am I able to?
Sure. We have to keep it for evidence.
All right. So this is how the property looks right now.
We actually have that in the file, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Yeah.
So we have done, and from interior to exterior, we've done it to where, okay, folks, what do I need to do?
No, you can keep it. We've got that. I didn't know it was the same pictures.
To where folks in the area, no, they're not used to a facility that might look, as nice, especially for memory care. I think that's, I guess that's it. I've rambled, talked enough, right? Sorry.
Sure.
I noticed that this calls for recovery. And what's the difference between a recovery? I'm thinking when I think that word, an alcoholic that's being recovered or a drug addict that's being recovered. Could you help me there?
Absolutely. Recovery, the bill that actually, made it possible to get the approval for recovery, it actually included recovery in the sense of not just substance abuse, but also for dementia. Not dementia, but for disabled, let's say,
Okay.
right? So even though it says, okay, recovery, the actual bill is comprehensive of that. And we wanted to include that as far as, we wanted to let everyone know the kind of residents that we'll be having there. Even though there's a assisted living license, and that's what it's licensed under, there's a lot of the general public might not be aware that it's not the typical assisted living that you see when you see the larger places. There's no one coming and going. They're not driving, so our particular type of residence is why we filed it under the 25, just so that everyone would really be able to be aware of the type of residents that are there. Memory care, as far as traffic, everything like that, like I say, you'd be surprised. Families are not popping around as often as you think.
Well, a follow-up on that is that you still have to go through the same procedures with state and regulations and inspections. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thanks. Any other questions?
No, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you want to say something? Okay. State your name and your address, please, again.
Allison Berry, 900 McCormick Street, Leesburg. Just to clarify, please, recovery, you said it would be open to memory, alcohol as well, or just memory clinic? Okay. That area is a busy area as well on the Main Street side. Will you have someone stationed with the patients or whatever you would call? Is there a problem of them getting out, getting lost, wandering? Because how far is that from the high school? 3 miles, something like that?
We're actually not right on Main.
Yeah, you're on the back of it, yes.
So on the back side of it. And honestly, I don't know if you travel around on Butler Street pretty often. The traffic really isn't that bad there.
Not on Butler, but on the back side of it. That's what I'm concerned about. And how far is it from the high school?
It's about 6 blocks.
6 blocks, that's what I'm saying, pretty close, okay.
And it's probably fairly safe for the fact of, if you're passing by in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, because we see it on the cameras, the kids literally cross our parking lot.
That's
to
what I
school.
see. Yeah,
So, I mean,
that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to make sure that I was
But
clear
just
of where
to
it was.
give you as far as, comfort, as far as, memory care. So memory care, yes, that does mean that, no, they're not coming and going. They're not, out there by themselves. We do have the property right next to it, specifically where that building is, right next to, and it's all, fenced in as one. There is also like big patio, there that we would probably put a privacy fence. The patio is, if you're looking at the building, it's on the left side, so on like before you get in between. But everything will be able to provide it, be provided within the home. So and the other facilities that I have, they're literally in neighborhoods. My Mount Dora is Lake Forest, and literally it's a loop, and they're family-owned, communities that are right there by the road. That answers your question.
Yeah, I was just concerned for us. I want to make sure the location and the busyness on the Main Street side and the schools, the kids back and forth school. So do you often have people to get out and drift away? You don't have that problem. Okay, all right. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we'll close to the public and have discussion and render decision. Any discussion? If not, I'll accept the motion.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve case number CUP 286871.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call?
Commissioner Robertson,
Yes.
Commissioner Siggett,
Yes.
Commissioner Carter,
Yes.
Commissioner Sanders,
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Bowersox.
Yes.
Thank you very much, and thank you. That's it. All right, is there anything else to be brought up before this body?
Oh, darn.
We'll have the books, I'm sorry, some of you have the new books here that Melissa and Sabrina worked so hard to create.
Thank you,
for
ladies.
So, thank you both for that.
Please, before you take these books.
Yes, those books are the handbook for appointed officials and we decided to give you all new ones since we have some new commissioners, and we haven't put those out in a few years. So for your
Next
evening
time,
reading.
Can y'all tape a chocolate bar right there? It'll make us want to open it for you.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Hershey.
Hershey.
Do we have to read the book?
With nuts.
There'll be a test next meeting, yes. sir.
Test next week, okay.
And put it in the bathroom.
Speaking of that, I don't know, did anybody watch that webinar that we were asked to watch besides me?
The ethics one?
What was that on?
What was
The
the name?
ethics
Yeah,
review?
yeah. I highly recommend that. It'll make the meetings go smoother, I think, within our own body. People understand why I do certain things, so.
We can send that out again, maybe?
Yeah, it's like once a month for the next 2 or 3 months. I can't remember now. I didn't write it down since I was there. All right, that's all. Anything else?
No, sir, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much. See ya.
All right.
Flat book,
Yeah.
6,
Okay.
page 43.